Welcome to another edition of Likeable Leaders. It's a special Listening and Beyond Summit edition. We have been talking with the upcoming top speakers from the Listening and Beyond Summit in New York City. We've had a whole bunch of amazing, brilliant minds so far, and today is no different. I am delighted to be introducing you all on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on YouTube, and on Clubhouse to somebody I would call a friend now, and we have shared a whole bunch of Clubhouse rooms, and he has really just impressed the heck out of me with his ability to to help entrepreneurs better convert their prospects into actual customers. So without further ado, let me tell you a little bit about Elijah Bowie. So Elijah has been an entrepreneur since the age of 16. Can't wait to find out more about that. Since the age of 16, he has been helping businesses. Oh my goodness, my LinkedIn's going crazy, of course, but that's okay. He's been helping folks who are tired of wondering, what am I going to do, post, or say to grow my business today? He's an entrepreneur, a small business investor. He's got 11 years of experience building and selling businesses with a target acquisition size between $1 and $5 million in revenue. So if you are watching or listening today and you have a business that's between $1 and $5 million in revenues, he's probably the person to talk to. He's consulted hundreds of businesses, big and small, in 5 different countries across 23 different business sectors. Elijah's zone of genius is in marketing and sales for small businesses. He's personally responsible for over $20 million in sales. Welcome to Likeable Leaders, Elijah Bowie. How are you, my friend?
Man,
I'm really great. You know, it's Friday. We're live streaming on 4 different networks at the same time. I'm standing up so I can get more in the zone while we go. Tell me a little bit about how in the world you became an entrepreneur at the age of 16. That is a really young to get started, and it sounds like you've never looked back. Amazing. If you're just joining us, I am live with Elijah Bowie, entrepreneur, sales conversion expert, and speaker at the upcoming Listening and Beyond Summit. I'm going to give away a copy of one of my books to one person that comments or posts a question. So let us know if you're watching on LinkedIn, where you're watching from, what questions do you have for Elijah or me. I'm going to choose one lucky winner while we are live in the next few minutes to win a copy of any of my books. You know, normally when people get called into the principal's office, that's a bad thing, but in your case, it was a very good thing, and I for one am grateful that that happened because it's led to all of this. What is the biggest mistake that that small business owners make on their websites that is keeping them from converting more sales? I love that, and I said to you right before I took you live, I said, I think you're so awesome, and I think I might have to hire you for one or more of my businesses because you really get it. And even as you say that, I'm thinking, uh, if I think about our websites, some of them do in fact have more of the focus on who we are, what we think we do, than like the problems that we really solve, and how our customers might think of that. Um, if folks are watching and they're thinking about starting a business, but they're not yet there, something's keeping them from starting. They're afraid. They don't know exactly what to do. What advice would you give people out there that maybe want to be entrepreneurs but aren't quite there yet? Love it. If you're just joining us, we're live on Facebook, on YouTube, on LinkedIn, and on Clubhouse. Join your whatever channel you like, whatever channel is good for you. If you want to just listen, you can listen in on Clubhouse. If you want to watch us, you have 3 networks to choose from, and I'm going to choose one person that is watching and commenting on LinkedIn in just a couple minutes to win a copy of my book. And no book yet, Elijah, right? But we need you to do a book. That's fair. That's fair. But you're gonna hang with me. We're gonna get a book done. So stay tuned. Okay. I don't make promises, especially this is a recorded line. So I don't make promises I can't keep. We'll see if I can help you with a book sooner or later. Tell me a little bit. Tell me about one of the harder challenges you've had. One of the clients that has come to you with maybe something that at first you were like, I don't know exactly how to sell this thing. I don't know exactly what's going to work. Tell me about what that process was like, and how you ended up hopefully generating some great results. Love it, love it. I just went to check LinkedIn to see who would win a book, and unfortunately, we had the same issue we had the other day with sound. So Elijah, the whatever you turned off your sound, I'm going to have you turn it back on, and hopefully that will work. So apologies,
Okay.
I couldn't hear Elijah's brilliance earlier, and that may impact. Hopefully now it will work and people won't hear you twice. The key is people hearing you once. So hopefully that works. But anyway, thank you for sticking with us. If you're still watching on LinkedIn throughout the lack of sound, I deeply appreciate that. And hopefully folks that are watching the recorded version just fast forwarded through when they couldn't hear you, and here they are. They're here now. Is there anything that can't be sold online? And what would you say to folks that say, I can't sell my product or service online?
Man, I would say that that's 100% incorrect. I think that people who believe that are 100% correct. They won't sell anything online. And I think the people that believe that there is a possibility they will sell online. And it's usually because people get so wrapped up in the tool, the vehicle. Like the internet, even though we use it all the time, it's just a tool. It's just a vehicle. And, like, you ask people, you could add a car salesman, even just 10 years ago, if he would sell cars online, and he would have said, no, it's impossible. People want to come to the dealership. They want to get in, they want to touch. And now there's entire companies, i.e. Carvana is one of the ones that came to mind, that you just online and you buy and like get approved and they show up and they drop the car off, right? And so I'd say that it is possible. You just have to figure out where, especially now, there was a lot of things that negatively happened with coronavirus, but one of the positive things that happens is that people are more open to doing things online, and it's opened up the entire world to us. I remember using Zoom, years ago, and people didn't know what it was or how to get on, and now it's like a household name. And so, yeah, I'd say that you definitely can if you decide to and figure it out.
Awesome. And great news, by the way, people can hear you now. So woohoo! I just want to say, okay, not only am I a host, I'm producer, live on 4 networks. We had some audio issues, but you know what? We got through it, and I'm so grateful to you for hanging through it, audience members, and of course for you, Elijah, as well. And we'll have at least some of this interview that the whole world can hear, which is really great. And we're going to get to questions for Elijah in just a minute or two. So if you are watching and you have a question, feel free to post it on LinkedIn or post it on Facebook or post it on YouTube. Or if you're on Clubhouse, you can raise your hand if you're in the audience, or you can flash your mic if you are on stage. So many opportunities to ask questions. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be vulnerable for a minute here. And I hope Sarah isn't too upset with me for this. But I'm going to be vulnerable about selling our own product. So we're planning this Listening and Beyond Summit, a marketing summit for entrepreneurs, for solopreneurs, for people that are feeling stuck, to get together in real life with some of their favorite Clubhouse experts and leaders, some great keynote speakers, and some great social activities. But initially, our website, frankly, wasn't really up to snuff. And you came in and said, well, we could do this, this, and this. And you built like almost overnight this incredible website. So impressive. And we're going to go live with it in a little bit. But in the meantime, I'm here to say I messed up. I didn't have the best website. Tell me a little bit about your thought process and, frankly, how you helped us to see what we were doing that was wrong and how we could fix that.
Yeah, so I have the mindset, I've trained my mind, right, to come from the mindset of the individual. And so, Dave, you are amazing. You're an amazing individual that I've come to learn. You have amazing people around you and amazing connections. And you have created a culture where people want to come and experience what you've created. I can't remember a room I've ever been in where people say, oh my gosh, Dave, your energy is amazing, and I want to be around that. And so, again, we're so intelligent sometimes, it doesn't matter who you are, that we can't see the forest through our own, through the trees. And so we write in a vacuum in on our outlook on something. And so that's what you guys did. And it was amazing, right? The page put that out there, and everyone wants to come. Like when everyone hears you talk about it, they say, oh, that sounds amazing. But then that may not necessarily turn into ticket sales. And it's because everybody wants to come until they got to put their money where their mouth is. And the human psychology kicks in and they say, oh, well, right? Because this is what we all do. Like human psychology, by the way, it's hardwired in our DNA to not give up money. Like money represents Maslow's hierarchy of human needs. So it represents status and power and security and all these things. So our human DNA would tell us acquire as much of it as possible and hold on to it. Don't spend it, right? Yet we do it every single day for the smallest of things even. And so when you go on your way to work and you buy a cup of coffee, you're not actually parting from that for coffee. You're parting from it because the coffee you think it turns you into a better person or does something for you and you want that, right? Or what you really want to do is not get fired when you walk into the office because you snapped at somebody. So you're like, I need my coffee on the way, right? That's actually what you're buying. And so I was able to look at what you guys were trying to do and say, okay, it sounds cool, but when it comes to the money, people need to see, what am I actually going to get? Like, I'm struggling with this, I'm starting this thing and, no one's responding. I'm doing other things. I'm on Clubhouse and people say, oh, great thoughts, but they're not paying me. And I really don't know what else to do. We need to be able to say on the site, hey, come to New York, July 29th and 30th. And we're going to have amazing speakers here. And we're going to show you exactly how to use Clubhouse, for instance, right? And how when you open your mouth, people go, wow. And then for them to say it backwards and say, wow, and want to pay you money for what it is you do. That's something where someone can go, oh my goodness, how much do I need to pay to get there? Like I need to do whatever I need to do to get there. And so that's all I did, was able to look at those things. And we still have, some changes me and Sarah are going to make to continue to speak to those people. And that's what I mean by truly understanding, hey, this is what we do. Because that's what the summit's really about, is helping serve these people. And that's what you want.
Love it. And I'm going to stick on the topic of the summit for a moment. And then I have a couple more questions. And then as promised, I'm going to turn it over to you, you guys, the viewers and listeners, for a couple of questions as well. And I'm going to push back my 12:30 call because you're the man and this is really valuable. And I did you wrong by having audio messed up in the beginning of this interview. By the way, one thing that you said there just that really resonated with me, in all of my sales decks for all of my companies, the final slide that shows the price, it always says investment. It never says cost, because to me, what we're selling is an investment in something, right? Just like you said, versus when we think of a cost, it's like nobody wants to spend money, but everybody wants to invest given the right investment. Okay, all that said, you are one of the top speakers at the Listening and Beyond Summit. What is one takeaway that people will get from you as a speaker at the Listening and Beyond Summit in New York City?
So one of the things I'm going to be sharing with everyone that comes is how to how to speak to a stranger, how to open your mouth. And even if a stranger hears it, we hear so much about know, like, and trust. Now you got to build that to get people to transact with you, which is true. But I'm going to show people how to collapse that, how to meet a stranger, and within days, hours, even sometimes, that person will be happily willing to transact with you, how to create a raving buyer by understanding how to actually sell to them. Because it has nothing to do with scripts. It has nothing to do with objection handling. It has nothing to do with the gift of gab. And so I'm going to share with them the one thing that everyone can do that you had when you were a kid, by the way, and how to use it to make more money and grow your business and impact the world.
I love it. I mean, you're really good at what you do, because I'm telling you, I'm not easily impressed. I'm not. And I'm like, I got to see this myself. What is it? I thought I knew sales. What is it? I can't wait to find out myself. Okay, my last question I ask all of my interview guests. So it's a bit of a tough one, but hopefully you're prepared. If you've listened to me interview somebody before, Elijah, what is the biggest mistake of your life? Biggest mistake of your life, and what did you learn from it?
Wow. The biggest mistake of my life I feel was not understanding what I was doing sooner. So even though I've been doing this for a long time and I got hired by that company, like you don't know what you don't know. And I just think about all the areas that I was kind of in this space that I could have taken advantage of, but I was too focused trying to do so many things, right? And so like I ended up dropping out of college because my business grew to $500,000 and I was making more than frankly the president that went to that school. But like just not being focused, always trying to do all these different things instead of just doubling down on the one thing that I had for me, right? The skill was probably the biggest mistake. I missed out on so many partnerships, so much money, but more than that, because I really hold this belief, Dave, I believe that we all of us, everyone listening under the sound of my voice, we all have some sort of unique talent, knowledge, gift, or expertise, but we have it solely for the purpose of sharing it. And that not only that, if we don't share it, the quality of someone else's life like drops, like someone else misses out on the quality of life they're supposed to have when we don't do that. And so to me, that's the biggest mistake, is that I didn't get my stuff together soon enough. And so there's people that in those 11 years, I just missed out on. And I don't know who they are. And I may never, get that chance again. And it's not like, they're not going to have a good life. But there's something like me and Dave, me and you could say the exact same thing about the exact same topic to the exact same person. And one person's going to hear it from you and one person's going to hear it to me, because some people are just our people. And so that's the biggest mistake for me, is having that scattered brain, shiny object syndrome and not serving those people and thus myself.
I totally get it. Do you do Enneagram at all? Are you familiar with the Enneagram?
I haven't done that one. I've done some other stuff around that.
Okay, Enneagram is my personal obsession. You're an Enneagram 7, and we're going to discuss what that means offline, but you are. And it's one of my favorite. Enneagram 7s, by the way, the best people to hang out with and party with. So one thing I'm looking forward to, in addition to your speech at the Listening and Beyond Summit, is partying with you. 7s are by far the most fun, I'm telling you. Okay. I'm going to give a quick chance to people in our audience on LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube to ask questions, our clubhouse to ask questions. I'm going to choose a grand prize winner, one person who's commenting on LinkedIn. So make sure you post a comment or a question on LinkedIn right this minute if you want to win any of my books, your choice of my books. Flash your mics if you have a question for Elijah on stage, or I will go to one of those social networks as well. Joshua, my health coach, is in the house. Joshua, what is your question for Elijah?
Hey, Dave, thanks for bringing me on stage. And Elijah, first of all, what you were doing at 16, I was studying for AP exams that don't matter at all to my career right now. So that's incredible. And it's really inspiring, actually. I do have a website right now, and being a health coach in this field, the hardest thing to decipher is figuring out, do I tell people about what I do, or do I try to highlight the things that they know they don't do well? So like, for example, on my website, if you go to the front page, it says a lot of things like yo-yo dieting, are you frustrated, are you confused when you go to the gym? Should I focus on things like that, or should I focus on things like I do hyper-personalized nutrition, strength and conditioning programs? Like, what do you think draws people in more, the actual services or the things that they think those services directly apply to?
That is a fantastic question, Joshua. And the answer, unfortunately, is neither of those things you just said. And the reason it's neither, so actually one of my first I had a marketing agency successfully, and we worked with some of the largest fitness franchises in North America, consulting with them. And this is one of the number of mistakes that people in the health space make, and it keeps them from getting clients, but also being able to charge a lot of money for those clients, is that it's not like you're not selling, hey, are you confused when you go into the gym? Because guess what? Nobody wants to go into the gym. So you selling me on that is irrelevant to me, because I could care less about going to the gym. Like, if I could be healthy and look exactly how I look, I would never step in the gym again. Like, I don't care. And then I definitely don't care about personalized nutrition plans. That's what I call um, tech jargon, right? It's expertise jargon that you use among your industry professionals that means nothing to the prospects. You have to understand in your site, your funnels, your content, everything should be about, you have to understand that you're not selling any of that stuff. You're selling to 43-year-old Linda, who has had 3 children and has a pretty good job, but wakes up an extra hour early for the last 12 years since she had her children. She wakes up an extra hour early before everyone's awake, and she goes into her closet. And the reason she wakes up an extra hour early for the last 12 years is because nothing in that closet fits. And she cries and she hates herself, right? And she says all these negative things to herself and about herself, and no one knows, right? But it literally starts off her day capping her at the knees, right? And then she has to, she can't wait, like, she finally squeezes into something that she doesn't feel good in. She starts her day, does all the things, is a super mom, all those things, goes into work. But because of that extra hour early, she thinks that everyone that's, every time someone's whispering or leaning over, she feels like everyone's looking at her and has something to say about her. It's affected her confidence. She doesn't want to step up in meetings anymore or share her thoughts. It's 110 degrees outside and she's wearing a long sleeve blazer and burning up because she doesn't want people to see her arms. Like, it's affecting her entire life. And she would love nothing more than to have an extra hour. Like, think of all those hours she's lost for the last 12 years, waking up an extra hour early to do that, basically to say, I hate myself, right? To get all those hours back, to wake up right the last minute that she possibly can, walk into her closet and wear anything that drops on the floor because it all fits. And she feels confident in what she sees and how she feels. And she can go in and step into her power at work and serve the people in her work and her, her husband and her kids, like, powerfully. That's what you're selling. That's what she wants, by the way. She couldn't care less about the gym. She couldn't care less about personal training plans, all that. Like, no one cares about that. And she will pay. How much is that worth to her? It's invaluable. So, and I actually co-own a mastermind of trainers where we help them do this. Like, that person will write a check for $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 for you to help with that. And then someone else is stuck a professional like you, Joshua, is stuck competing with an app that's giving her the same exact thing you just told you were going to give her, some personalized nutrition plans and some stuff to do at the gym for $14 a month. Does that make sense?
It does. It makes a lot of sense. And I think, being a professional in this industry, I want to kind of shed light on what I've accomplished personally with my credentials and everything. But you do have to put yourself in the mindset of, like, what do people actually care about? Just because I care about those hyper-personalized things from my very advanced master's degree does not mean a goddamn thing in the way of my bank account. So that makes incredible sense. And it also means I'll be able to actually appeal to more people. So thank you for that remarkable advice. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Joshua. We have time for 1 or 2 more questions from LinkedIn, from Facebook, from YouTube, or from Clubhouse, and then I'm going to choose a grand prize winner. I want to give shout outs to all the people watching on LinkedIn and commenting. I will find you and I will shout you out. So Nicole and Maha and Will and Vera and Erica and everyone, Toye and Ehim and Judica, everyone else that's watching on LinkedIn. Thank you guys so much. Okay, one more question actually. So flash your mics. So my 12:30 is super late, but that's okay because I'm here with you and I'm loving it. Alex, what is your question for Elijah Bowie?
Hey Elijah, thanks for your time. Thanks Dave for putting this together. Fully agree with you on the fact that anything can be sold online. I literally this morning picked up a high touch client, 10K a month client, and have solved part of their problem already, literally in the last 18 minutes while listening to you guys. So I guess my question is, how do I leverage? I'm a really shitty social media person. I'm getting better at it. I do more like real world media, high ticket consulting, retainer plus success fee stuff, whether it's lobbying or whether it's doing mergers and acquisition. How do I leverage what I'm doing in the real world better than what I'm doing right now? Something's not quite working. Like, I talked to a senator, solved some problem, talked to a racial justice group that we're doing a lot of work with. Doesn't seem to create traction. I hope that gives you enough data points to answer my question. I'm Alex Simba.
Yeah. So Alex, I think you said a couple of things there. You said you're not great at being a social media marketer. I think one of the best things that's going to help you is to strip yourself of the labels. Stop trying to be a social media marketer, because let me tell you something. Most of these social media marketers suck, and most of them are faking anyway. And I'm not telling you like fake things. I know actual. Never mind. I've been behind the scenes of some people where you think they are crushing it and they are stuck like Chuck in a pickup truck. Okay, so stop trying to do that, and just to go back and understand the same things that you're doing with that senator or for that senator or for those racial groups, whatever it may be, that not necessarily, like sometimes people put up the highlight reels, and there is an important piece of that, right? That'll get some people to want to be your friends and want to leverage you and your assets, and that's great because we all do that. But it's more powerful for you to understand not necessarily that you did that work with that company or that center, whatever it may be doing, but like what your actual skill set is, right? So like I said, I know that I can plug and play anywhere in the world now, and I can help people I can help every business on this planet do more business, period. Because I can help them see the forest of the trees, right? Somewhere that they're not seeing, and I can just like increase that. And so because I know what I actually do, I can just talk about these different situations that people are in. And that's what you should be doing on your social media. Like, stop trying to attract someone specific. And there's a lot of work done on avatars and all those things, and there's value in that. But I always tell my clients, think of yourself like a plumber. Who's the ideal for a plumber? Well, it's anyone who has messed up pipes. Plumbers don't say, well, only commercial or residential, or if you're in Hollywood Hills, or if you're in they don't care. If you have this issue, I'm going to show up and I'm going to fix it, right? I have this skill set. And when you do the same thing, you'll start to attract those people. And so that's what you should be showcasing on social media. Find not the problems that people are having that you solve, because human nature is to push aside problems. Find the symptoms that these people are having. And the reason I say symptoms, because symptoms are how a problem shows up in their everyday life. And half of the market is not aware that they have a problem, or they think that they have a problem that they don't actually have. It's not the right problem. But if I talk about a symptom, everyone can go, oh, that's me. If the plumber says, old lady calls and says, can you come help? And he says, well, what's going on? She's, I don't know. Well, when I brush my teeth at night and I turn on the water and I'm brushing my teeth, by the time I'm done brushing, the sink is halfway full, and then I spit in it, and then there's a ring around it, and then it takes 5 minutes to drain. Okay, cool. So the plumber knows exactly what the issue is right then and there, but he's not like, if he markets, oh, we fixed da 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 da, right? Or like we fixed something for this senator. That doesn't mean anything to that lady, and so you miss out, and your social media content and message and marketing doesn't hit. And so I think if you just take some time and to think of like, yes, I've worked with these cool people, but what am I actually doing with them? Because I know if one person has a problem, there's lots of other people that have it too, and just talk about how to approach and solve that problem. You're going to be better off. And you should come to the summit on July 29th and 30th in NYC, because one of the things I'm going to show you how to do is how in your content to actually create something that's going to get people to, instead of just scrolling and liking, to scroll your content and say, wow, and then to say it backwards and say, wow, and reach out to you and figure out how you can help them.
Amazing. Thank you, sir. You are spilling really a lot of gems, a lot of wisdom, and I'm really grateful to you for that. Okay, we're wrapping up. Got last chance to enter to win a grand prize, your choice of any of my books. But Elijah, where can folks reach you if they want to learn more, they want to connect with you? Where is the best place to do that?
Yeah, so I'm on all social medias, LinkedIn, LinkedIn, Clubhouse, under Elijah Bowie. Instagram's Coach Bowie. Facebook. You can go to my website, ElijahBowie.com. I'm all around. You send me something. If you send a carrier pigeon, it'll get to me eventually, and we'll be able to connect.
Awesome. Well, thank you again. Thank you to Elijah Bowie for joining us. Really grateful for you. Thank you for joining us at the Listening and Beyond Summit in New York City as well. If you want to learn more, DM me on your choice of any of the networks, or DM Elijah the word Summit on any of your choice of networks, and he will, or I will, give you more information about this. But I'm really excited to get together in person and help as many people as we can get unstuck, build their business, build their brand, reconnect with people in the real world. It's gonna be really, really awesome. And I want to thank most of all you guys for watching and for listening. I appreciate it. Thank you for your patience through the audio issues in the beginning. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Our grand prize winner is Nicole Volpe. Congratulations, Nicole Volpe. Send me a DM and with your address, we'll get you out your choice of books. And until next time, have a likable day, everyone. Bye for now.